is Encore.
Cool.
The stories behind the songs.
Thank you.
Here's iHeartRadio's Miles Galloway.
Yes, and welcome to another episode of Encore. This week, though, I'd like to start off with an apology. Dear listeners, I'm sorry. Sorry for party rocking! This is the story of LMFAO's Party Rock Anthem. Laughing my freaking ass off, or LMFAO as they were more commonly known, were one of the most enigmatic duos in pop music history.
LMFAO obviously stands for something we can't say on TV.
Loving my friends and others.
Exactly.
Formed in 2006 by Motown Records founder Berry Gordy's youngest son, Stefan Kendal Gordy, a.k.a. Redfoo, and Redfoo's half-nephew, Skyler Austen Gordy, or Sky Blu, with no E, of course. I would hazard a guess that these hyperactive nepo-babies are the single most successful uncle-nephew duo in all of music. Go on in the comments, prove me wrong. Right, where was I? By 2006, Redfoo and Sky Blu began making a name for themselves as DJs on the burgeoning electro house scene in the club scenes of Los Angeles and Miami. As was the style at the time, Foo and Blu's club bangers included tracks with influences from contemporary pop, hip-hop, and synthpop, paving a way for a somewhat mindless wave of EDM that focused on the carefree vibes of nightlife, partying, drinking, and just having a good time. But was it weird, creating excessive party music with a senior family member? I mean, no disrespect to my uncle, but I don't really want to go clubbing with him. According to LMFAO, no, not at all.
So one of you has to put the other one in line, or no?
Yeah, I have to put them in line.
A line of shots.
A line of shots, and
Only one of you can buy them?
yeah.
We getting sleazy every night, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, we getting sleazy.
As they began to solidify themselves as a duo, legend has it that Stefan and Skyler were originally planning on calling themselves Sexy Dudes, but would pivot to LMFAO after telling Sky Blu's grandma and assumedly being met with disappointment. Come on, grandma, you ruin all the fun. After gaining a bit of a following and laying down some demos that truly distilled their party rockin' sound, Redfoo decided to show his demos off to his best friend to get his thoughts on the songs. Now, you may not be surprised to find out that Redfoo's best friend loved the demos. You could even say that he had a feeling that LMFAO were ready for the big time. Of course, I'm burying the lead here. It probably didn't hurt that his best friend in question was none other than will.i.am. Thanks to his obvious connections, will.i.am fast-tracked LMFAO to a meeting with Interscope Records head honcho Jimmy Iovine, who we have spoken about plenty on Encore, and Iovine scooped the duo right up on a record deal with Interscope and will.i.am's eponymous sub-label. What Interscope seemingly loved so much about LMFAO was that the group's EDM sound, mostly written and produced by Redfoo and Sky Blu themselves, was already so polished that there was very little artist development needed to properly market the duo. As Interscope's head of A&R told Hitquarters, LMFAO were essentially turnkey. Of course, as you might imagine, there wasn't a lot of subtlety to LMFAO's music. Released first as an EP in 2008 and then as a full-length LP in 2009, LMFAO's debut record, Party Rock, was, well, exactly that. And what is party rock? And the act of party rocking, you ask?
Well, party rocking is, being the life of the party, rocking the party. Going to the party. You may walk into the club and you may just, hey, as you walk in. It's not like you're like a timid walk in, like, oh, is it? You walk in strong with a group of people, clapping. Hey, it's wherever you go strong.
That's right. You gotta stand out, you know what I'm saying? It's like Michael Jordan to the Bulls, you know what I'm saying? The rest of the Bulls are just normal party people. But the party rockers are a bunch of Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippins, maybe a Steve Kerr, you know what I'm saying? Shooting threes and drinking the G's.
The opening party rock track, Rock the Beat, aptly samples Pump Up Jock Jam Eye of the Tiger, from the Rocky movies, and doesn't slow down from there. Fitted in neon animal print, hipster glasses, foil-printed t-shirts, flowing locks, and semi-ironic chains, LMFAO were late 2000s indie trash swag personified.
We have the chains and the shirts and got the,
The
underwear, the
glasses.
glasses.
Love it.
But from head to toe, we want to, dress the party rockers, the party animals.
While perhaps not entirely necessary, let me remind you some of the song names on this record. We have Get Crazy, I Shake, I Move, What Happens at the Party, Lil Hipster Girl, and of course, first single, I'm in Miami, bitch. Fully committed to the bit, there's no irony in I'm in Miami, bitch. The song is exactly what it says on the label, a sort of swervy rap song ode to drinking, partying, and looking to hook up with cute girls in bikinis, because they're in Miami. While not exactly a smash hit, Miami was a perfect calling card for LMFAO, and early internet hipster culture absolutely lapped the track up. A bootleg mashup between Miami and DJ Chucky's club banger Let the Bass Kick was born, creating an even sleazier, synthier masterpiece. Between the success of the original charting at number 51 on the Hot 100, actually going platinum in Canada, and the mashup becoming a number one dance hit in the UK, LMFAO were ready to get the party started. All that was left to do now was to get some shots. Everybody? If Miami was the hipsters' LMFAO jam of choice, their follow-up single with Lil Jon, Shots, was the mainstream chaser. The album track starts with either Foo or Blu yelling, I'm f***ed up, before a drilling synth line hits. As Tom Bryhan of Stereo Gum puts it, LMFAO were certainly not interested in any sort of artistic range with their music, saying, for all its dumber-than-bricks excess, the silliness had a certain messy, outlandish charm. At least if you experienced it in the proper frame of mind. If you're drunk enough and in a good enough mood, you're not going to object when the DJ cues up shots.
You got to know how to, when shots comes on, you got to know how to, take some shots. Bam, 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 pass them around, do some cool, no-look things, like shots, boom. It's like you just got to live, you got to rock your life. You know what I mean? Party rock your life. You got to just be really creative.
With Lil Jon in tow, a rapper certainly no stranger to creating mind-boggling, crunk-fueled party anthems in his own right, Shots would go double platinum in the US and platinum here in Canada. It would only chart modestly, mind you, peaking at number 68 on February 6, 2010. But if you need a reminder of what hit music was like in early 2010, or if even number 68 seems a bit high of a charting position for your tastes for a song with a refrain that is simply shots, 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 everybody. What was number one on that day in history? TikTok by Kesha. And before we move on, rounding out the top 5 that week, Taylor Swift at number 2, Lady Gaga at number 3, Young Money number 4, notably featuring a brand new Canadian rapper called Drake, and the debut of another Canadian, Justin Bieber, with Baby. The more things change, the more they stay the same, eh? Now minted as the party-rockingest guys in all of music, LMFAO floated around in the dance music scene for the rest of 2K10, releasing a couple of less notable singles and even collabing with dance music royalty David Guetta while working on their sophomore album. And you know what they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because LMFAO followed up their smash album Party Rock with Sorry for Party Rocking in 2011. That's right, Redfoo and Sky Blu were party rocking in 08, party rocking in 09, and you already know they were party rocking in 2010, so why not party rock again in 2011? And if you're mad about it, they did say they were sorry. What more do you want? Although the album wouldn't be released until June of that year, LMFAO made the savvy decision to release lead single Party Rock Anthem early, exclusively to some lucky DJs for New Year's Eve 2010, and then officially at the beginning of the year on January 25th, 2011. Written by another friend of Redfoo, the producer Goon Rock. In another universe, Party Rock Anthem could have been a Flow Rider song, but he turned an early version of the track down. Redfoo knew Goon Rock had a hit on his hands, so he finished and LMFAO-ified up the track with his old pal and invited little-known singer Lauren Bennett to record the Get Up, Get Down, Put Your Hands Up to the Sound vocals. A true mastery in songwriting. All jokes aside, Party Rock Anthem really is LMFAO's most complete song by a country mile, as silly and sleazy as ever, but with a real ethos-defining chorus that most of their other songs only crudely alluded to. With Party Rock Anthem, there's no doubt about it. The who, what, when, where, why are soundly covered. Party Rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time. We gonna make you lose your mind. Everybody just have a good time. Complete with an oral laser show of synth breakdowns and swooning beat drops. The whole track is just mind-melting hook after hook. But perhaps its most profound impact on society was the vocal fried magic of the line, "Every day I'm shuffling." Ostensibly modelled after the hook on Rick Ross's 2006 hit Hustlin', LMFAO's Shufflin' line is nearly a cadence-perfect homage to Ross's original. Or at least that's certainly the conclusion Ross came to when he sued LMFAO for copyright infringement in 2013, claiming the Party Rocker's lyric is an obvious derivative of his. Originally thrown out of court in 2018 as the judge ruled that Ross had no claim of copyright on the phrase, the case was immediately reopened by Jermaine Jackson and Andrew Haar, the song's other co-writers. Ultimately, a settlement was reached on the reopened suit, and although details were not disclosed, as far as I can tell, none of the named plaintiffs have any writing credits on Party Rock Anthem, so it must have been a decent settlement. Well, that really brought the mood down, didn't it? Let's get back to shuffling, shall we? Not only a catchy little mantra, "Every Day I'm Shuffling" was a sort of pre-Harlem Shake viral dance move that LMFAO fully capitalized on. Now, obviously, I can't exactly teach you a dance move in audio form, but for what it's worth, if there was a dance move you could learn by simply hearing and not seeing, LMFAO's Shuffle would be that move. Here's Foo and Blu teaching much as Phoebe Dykstra.
Well, we should start probably with the hop.
Okay.
Let's just start with a hop, so we'll do a bounce. Bounce, bounce, bounce.
Oh, yeah.
And then we'll do the feet like, huh, 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 huh. And then you
Excuse me, you
put,
guys are supposed to be moving.
and then you put a step in between. So,
Holy crap, that's awesome. Don't wear a tube top while you're doing this. Okay.
yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Now how you get your swag down with the upper body swag is the shuffle is like an extension of how you walk.
Right.
So if you're walking, right leg first, left arm up like a normal walk. Like, yeah, baby. Cool. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's the same thing as your walk. You know what I'm saying? So you're just walking.
Okay, we're gonna try with some music. Let's hit the music.
Simple, right? It's kind of just a confident, bouncy swag walk more than anything. Don't worry, I'll put a link to the visuals of the move in the episode description for you hardcore shufflers out there. Speaking of visuals, the video for Party Rock Anthem is absolutely bonkers. Set as a post-apocalyptic homage to the excellent 28 Days Later, the video begins by stating, Redfoo and Sky Blu slipped into comas after excessive party rocking. The next morning, their new single Party Rock Anthem was released to the world. We're then set in a hospital room where our heroic party rockers wake up 28 days later, get it? From their comas to find a world in disarray. One 2010's hipster homies seen shuffling, oblivious to the wreckage, before a panicked man tells LMFAO that ever since their song came out, the whole world could simply not stop shuffling, as if they were afflicted by an incurable disease. From there, the LMFAO boys are eventually happily afflicted, singing and shuffling along to their literal viral hit. We're introduced to the aforementioned Lauren Bennett for her part, some breakdancers, and a man dancing with a giant golden box on his head, with no actual resolution to the pandemic-like situation they all find themselves in. But at least they're happy. Of course, Party Rock Anthem would become a #1 hit in both the US and Canada, sitting atop the Hot 100 for 6 glorious weeks. The song would go on to 6 times platinum in Canada and diamond in the US, becoming the 3rd most purchased digital single of all time. Party Rock Anthem fever did not stop there, however, with car manufacturer Kia featuring the song in their own post-apocalyptic inspired commercial where futuristic robots are taking over the world until they're confronted by some neon-fitted anthropomorphic hamsters who rock up in a Kia Soul while blaring LMFAO's calling card song. Naturally, they're all inspired by the sweet ride and the power of dance, and they all have an epic dance party. Yes, I really did just say all those words to you. Unfortunately, all good parties must come to an end, and this is where things get a little weird, as if they weren't weird already. Party Rock Anthem was followed up by the equally as ridiculous and catchy Sexy and I Know It, and it looked as if LMFAO were here to stay. By 2012, they were even announced as Super Bowl halftime show performers with the legendary Madonna, CeeLo, Nicki Minaj, and MIA. The show appeared to go off without a hitch, with everyone shuffling their butts off in the Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, but after the performance backstage, Sky Blu's back gave out on him, putting him on the shelf with a serious injury. Not ready to call it quits, Redfoo would actually continue to honor LMFAO's touring commitments on his own, including a cringe-worthy performance in July of 2012 at Ottawa's Blues Fest, where Foo tried to kayfabe his nephew's injury, telling the crowd he injured his back shuffling, and when you've got such a big package, you're front-loaded. So he rolled over and was choked by his own penis. So I thought, should we cancel the show or should we party rock? Okay. Things started to get fishy as Much More Music's Matt Wells would explain live on location at the Blues Fest.
This is generally where, as we're finding out, no one's supposed to go unless you're in the band.
We're on the assumption that everything's cool. We can film, we can do an interview.
The actual artist does not want it happening.
The other thing you have to understand is that Redfoo showed up to this show without Sky Blu. There started to be some rumblings backstage that maybe there's some tension between them, which started to make us realize that this is probably why it's becoming more difficult for us to get shots, maybe get an interview. So that kind of went down, and we didn't get the interview. Redfoo was there, Sky Blu wasn't, and I don't think anybody wanted that on camera. Just saying.
With more and more rumors of tensions shrouded in Sky Blu's mysterious injury, by September of 2012, LMFAO would announce an indefinite hiatus, with Redfoo noting, I feel like we've been doing this for so long, 5 or 6 years, and we're kind of like saying, well, let's just do what's natural and just kind of explore that, instead of like forcing it all the time. Sky Blu seemed to corroborate this as well, releasing his own statement to MTV, saying, first of all, we're not breaking up. I know that for sure. We're family and stuff, so it's always love. It's interesting because somebody will say one thing and it's just like high school, and then all of a sudden, they're breaking up, they're fighting. But when Redfoo continued making more music in the style of LMFAO to increasingly diminishing returns, and in some cases, a lot of backlash, the people knew something was up. Finally, on September 9th, 2016, Sky Blu, now simply going by Sky, attempted to set the record straight on Facebook. I've been wanting to speak my truth about this whole LMFAO situation for a long time. Out of respect to our family, I kept it all to myself. I woke up this morning excited to plan the release of my album that has been 2 years in the making. But then I get a call from my lawyer telling me, you say you, Redfoo, own all my LMFAO royalties. Different things like this would go on all the time when you know we are 50-50 across the board. The way you belittle people and your crazy power trips was some of the main reasons our relationship as family and partnership has greatly suffered. I'm sure you know I've been trying to get this money released that was held up from the Rick Ross lawsuit. Unlike you, I didn't take the LMFAO brand for myself. Your whole vibe and your style since our last show together is completely a half-ass version of LMFAO. My back went out right before a big arena show. You went out and performed, but then just left on the tour bus without seeing me. In fact, you didn't speak to me after that for about a year, which is around the time you announced our hiatus. As someone who really cared, loved, and had your back, this really hurt. I mean, you're my uncle, my blood. You even kept touring as LMFAO and made a lot of money doing it. You never once called me to ask how I was recovering. You just kept shuffling every day without me. You tried to sell happiness, but you're not a happy person. I was going to let it all go, but still you f***ing with me and my livelihood, even though you already just took so much from me, it's still not enough. Well, the shit stops here, Stefan. I am thankful for LMFAO and I love our music, but most importantly, the people we touched with it. It's the behind-the-scenes realities that caused me to embrace myself more. This, in part, led me to become the man I am today. The whole world looks at me as a member of LMFAO, but very soon, the world will meet Sky. Unfortunately for Sky and Stefan, as of time of recording, LMFAO have yet to reconcile, and neither artist has managed to rekindle the magic in music they found working together, lost in the neon ether of party rock forever. Redfoo, however, would make headlines this very month of recording as 49-year-old Stefan Kendal Gordy made his professional tennis debut on February 5th, 2025 at the International Tennis Federation's M15 Sharm el-Sheikh tournament in Egypt. He would go on to lose to a competitor more than half his age after giving it his all at the tournament. In a post promoting his match on social media the day before, he included the sounds of LMFAO's Yes off their debut album. With lyrics, "Every day I see my dreams soundtracking the moment. We were all party rockers just one last time." I'm Miles Galloway, and that was the story of LMFAO's Party Rock Anthem on Encore, with new episodes every Thursday.
Encore is an iHeartRadio Canada podcast. Subscribe to this podcast on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts. Download the iHeartRadio app for more great podcasts just like these.